I love it. I don't know if you guys know that, but that's her Instagram, and it's really cool. Um, Hannah is a cool girl. She is wise. She has an
Here it
old
goes.
soul. She already has a deep relationship with Jesus Christ. But what she always does is reaches out and have deep relationships with people. And I'm just happy and proud to present Hannah Ling to you guys as she does her senior presentation. Love you so much.
Thank you.
And we would like to open up in prayer. Lord Father, we just come to you today and thank you so much for Hannah. And thank you for her design. Thank you for loving her and so much that you would design her in such a sweet, unique way. She has a desire to know you so much, Father, and that with that, she also has a desire to serve and help and love people. And I'm just so blessed to have her in the Veritas Dance Company. And I know that all of Veritas has been blessed by her wisdom, her grace, her laughter, her smile, and her talent, Lord. So we just love you, Father, and may this presentation speak truth into everyone, and may our hearts be open to whatever she has to say in Christ's name. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Um, Before I begin, let me introduce my guests. This is my mom and my dad. And then figuratively, Veritas is here, represented by Sarah and Molly and Kidley. And Annika! Yes, she's sitting right there. I was like, oh my gosh. Okay. And then all my lovely little friends. Yes. Okay. So over the course of my life, everybody asks, you like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And oftentimes I had a lot of answers to that question, and oftentimes I had no answers to that question. At one point, I wanted to be a princess, cowgirl. I wanted to be an astronaut. I wanted to join the Army because if you know my seasickness, the Navy was not an option. I wanted to be a millionaire because everybody goes through that phase. But hopefully I can look back over the course of 18 years and give a good response now to what I want to be. I'm sorry if I jump around because I'm not very good at categorizing my life. I tend to just go from life to life to life to life. So we'll start at the beginning. I was born on January 29th of 99. Ooh, not 2000, year before that. I was actually a really crazy child. Sorry, Mom. I was actually crazy. I remember getting into a lot of fights with my childhood friends. I grew up in our church, and Asian parents, for some reason, they get together and they have their babies all at once. And so I have all these friends all at the same age, and I fought with a lot of them. I fought with David, I fought with Daniel, I fought with his little sister, Mary Ann. I fought with my very close friend now, Jane, and they all went to the same church, and we all got along, and we're all siblings, and we fight, and so on and so forth. So every day we would go on Sunday, and we would go to Sunday school, and then we would go after Sunday school. We would go on the playground, and we'd all fight and go on all our crazy adventures. They were my family as well as my family. They were my family. I spent pretty much my life with them. They were like my family, and then my school, and like church, and then my family and church were like connected. And they were close. We were close. We were always close. Every summer we had VBS, and we would fight each other with like water balloons, and then fight each other, and then like we would go on missions trips and we would have inside jokes and laugh at all my misspelled words because I am horrendous at spelling. But school was different because when I first got into school, I didn't speak any English. I spent the first month maybe not talking to anybody. My kindergarten teacher, she had this lovely little dog named Rosebud, and she brought this dog to school every day. So naturally, because I didn't speak any English, I played with the only thing that didn't speak English, the dog. So I just played with the dog for a whole month until I learned how to speak English. And until then, I found school to be very hard. And thinking back, as I was writing my speech, I realized my first school, I didn't really learn all that much. I just played Pokemon a lot. The cards were like gold to me. I was a teacher's pet, and then I would like tattletale on kids, and then kids could bribe me not to tell on them by giving me a card. I was like, yes, yes, and it was bad, but it was fun. Yeah. So in the middle of elementary school, because my school was so small, we had to move to a new school. This was a new change because my previous school was so small. We moved to a place called Rocky Mountain Christian. And so there, I found myself in a class of 22, and I was kind of confused because I was used to a class of like 8, maybe. There I had my fair share of recitals and embarrassing moments, many which I've forgotten, just to know that they're embarrassing and they're there, but I don't remember them. I remember singing in choir, and I remember World's Day or something like that, where each grade would take a country or a nation or something, and they would celebrate that nation. And I specifically remember Denmark and India, because we made a giant elephant head and decorated it for India. And for Denmark, we ate a lot of food and read The Little Mermaid. And I was scarred by The Little Mermaid. And then, yeah, I don't know why I remember that. Okay. Middle of 7th grade, we moved from Rocky Mountain Christian to Cherry Hills. And this was a weird change for me because I was also not used to the class size at Cherry Hills, because I was like, oh my gosh, people. Yeah. There I met the best group of friends I could ever ask for. I was quiet at first, naturally, because I always was. And we grew really close. We suffered through Mr. Ben's computer class, Mrs. Babb's study hall, where some of us went to MATLAB. And each year during middle school, we had a missions trip. And on our 7th grade missions trip, which I was lucky enough to get to go on, it was to New Mexico. I remember sitting there one night staring at this painting that we were working on, and it was Jesus's face and the little kids like running to Jesus. And it was like, and I remember thinking, like, this is something that I do not want to lose. Like, this is important to me. And this was the first time, like, I saw kids wanting Christ. Okay. And one of my classmates really opened his heart up to worship, and we followed him in worship, and it was really, really cool to see that happen. And this is a moment, oddly enough, that defined my relationship with God, because I got to sit there and stare at this face, the face of Jesus, because we don't know what he looks like. But I was like, this is important. This guy is important. This man is more than a man. His God is important. And that was like, that was important. 7th grade ended and 8th grade continued and continued and continued and continued and never ended, and then it ended. And then we decided we were looking at high schools, and I was determined not to go to Valor. I was like, this is not going to be where I'm going to go. And then I'm here. So this tends to be how things happen to me. I tend to be like, no, I will not do this. And then it happens anyway. Freshman year, I was kind of rebellious. I was like, no, not going to do a discovery trip. I'm not going to do any productions. I found myself doing palms, which was weird. I figured out that's not who I am. I'm not competitive like that. And animation class. I thought that's what I was going to do. Like, I thought I was going to be this storyteller. And then I was like, I'm not good at this. Sophomore year, because I figured out I'm not good at this, I was even more rebellious and refused to do anything at all. I didn't do any sports. I didn't do arts. I didn't do extracurriculars. I didn't do any programs. I refused. I was like, nope, not going to happen. But I ended up going on the Santa Barbara trip. And I got to know poverty just a little bit. There was a moment where we were on the beach, we were playing volleyball, and I turn and I see this man, and he is the most skeletal man I have ever seen. And I remember him sitting there on a blanket, just sitting there. And I was like, what is happening? Does nobody see this? So I go over to him. I'm like, are you okay? I have some food. Do you need my lunch? He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. So I went over. I was like, give me my lunch right now. Mr. Palmer, I need my lunch right now. Go get it from the van. So I did that. And everybody was like, you are such a weirdo. I was like, okay. Gave this poor man my lunch, and I was like, dang, that's cool. I ended up realizing that was part of me that I wanted to get more in touch with. And that I might not want to be a couch potato. I might want to be a baked potato or a mashed potato or some kind of other potato, not just a couch potato. So that's how I figured out I was going to go into my junior year going into. So in my junior year, I decided to do dance 3. And my dance 3 class was 6 people, and it was really close. And they ended up convincing me to go to try out for Veritas. I love them. They're fun. They're cute. Love them. So, and Lexi Velarde was one of those 6 people. My junior year, I got the opportunity to go to China with Discovery. If I had gone with my family, I would not have gotten to go to all the touristy things. Yeah, I would not have gotten to go to climb the Great Wall or see pandas. Yeah, touristy things. When I was little, actually, very young, don't know how old I was, I was in Hong Kong? Not sure. But my parents made a very critical mistake of giving me ice cream. And they gave it to me and let me walk by myself. And I was so caught up eating my ice cream, I wandered off, got lost. My mom and dad found me I don't know if it was my mom and dad. I was eating my ice cream. Found me on a bench. I was eating my ice cream. They were worried, frantic. Found me on an ice cream, bench. I was happy. Followed some other couple. That was my last trip to China. So this was my proper trip to China. So I'm good. Yeah. Sorry. Senior year. I finally get it. I think I finally get it that I have to throw myself at life. And if I don't throw myself at life, life doesn't really reward me back. My first risk was Veritas. There was a chance I wouldn't have made it. And I was hesitant. I was like, I'm not gonna do this at first because I had tried out before my sophomore year and didn't get it. But I was okay with that. I was like, okay, not gonna try again. And then Lexi tried again, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it again. Tried again, got in, and boot camp. Boot camp was fun. Boot camp was strange. I was convinced I was not supposed to be on the team. I was convinced. We were playing a game where we spray shaving cream on each other's head and like throw Cheetos and try to see how many like stick. I was convinced throwing Cheetos at Emmy's head that I was not supposed to be there. I was like, this girl's weird. I'm weird. Like, this is not supposed to happen. Like, she is judging me so hard for throwing Cheetos on her head right now. Like, I later found out that we are tight, we are fine, we are good. And I realized that I was supposed to be part of that team. Later that night, when I was giving my testimony, and I was talking about, I don't know, something important and deep, and I feel this dribble down my nose, and I look down and it's red, drip, drip, gush, and I'm having a nosebleed in the middle of my testimony, and I'm like crying, and it's like bleeding, and it's hilarious now that I look back at it, but they brought me tissues and laughed it off, and that was the moment when I was like, okay, I'm supposed to be here. Next risk was India. It was also one of the things that I was like, I'm not going to do. I was absolutely not going to go on a discovery trip to India. And I went, and it was great. I have cried so much over India, and everybody on the India team knows that, and everybody not on the India team knows that. Yes, I cry a lot about India. I don't know. Just any moment in India was amazing. Just to say that, like, sitting there eating, like, what is it called? Djibouti? Something like that? I'm butchering the word. But eating food with the Mandals was amazing. Like, every small moment was amazing. Like, there was a moment where we were painting the school, and some of us were just standing there because we didn't have enough paint or something. And Dee goes, go outside and walk around. And we're like, okay, we'll walk around. And so we just walk around the slum, and these kids are so cute and so precious, and they just, like, I don't know, they just pour their hearts out, and they just love you. I don't know. In India, we got to fight off ants. That was an interesting thing that happened. And we got the opportunity to dance at this park. I don't even know how to describe it, but it was this program where we just kind of connected momentum with like the community, and we just danced, and it was fun. And that night, as we were leaving, yes, I'm going to tell a story. So yeah, as we were leaving, all the kids were literally swarming the buses, and they were like, we can't get out because like we're gonna run over a child. And they were like putting their hands up on the windows, and we're like, we love you. And we're like, oh my gosh, like, are we ever gonna see these kids again? Like, they're so cute. And they're saying like, we miss you, like we love you. And I don't know, precious moment. Moving on. Okay. Oh, sorry, no more tears. Okay. Most recent risk, Pippin. Also one of the things I never thought I was gonna do. I was convinced, never gonna do a program, never gonna do a musical, never gonna do it. Did it. Fun. Loved it. Long nights, long rehearsals. Really fun, really sore. A lot of blue paint. And I think I learned perseverance through really, really long nights. And I'm going to learn that lesson again. Yeah. Okay. Okay, my future. So next year, I will hopefully go to Creighton, and I'm hopefully studying neuroscience. India rocked my world, and I found out that I love kids, and thanks to lovely Sarah, who almost passed out and died, I found out that I love to take care of people. My dreams are kind of big, and I hope that I don't live a typical suburban life, that I don't like just stay comfortable. Yeah. That can't be it. What happened to my mission statement? Wait, there it is. I hope to serve the Lord by restoring hearts and bodies through loving people and healing bodies. Wherever I may go, I pray that God will work through my hands and show his love. And so, like, I hope that, I pray that India is a part of that. But I leave that up to God. Okay, thank yous. And this is the part where I cry. So, friends, you have been fun and kind. Not Anna, because you have not always been kind. You have always been honest, but not always kind. You have never failed to be loyal to me and love me. I feel like I choose very good people to be my friends, so congratulations. You are good people. It doesn't matter if I have known you for my whole life or a single year. You never failed to amaze me. Thank you for impacting me and showing me your love. Anna, thank you for being the most honest human being I have ever met. You are funny, and I struggle with you the way I would struggle with me. And I thank you for that. Kin, thanks for taking my salt and not dying of a heart attack. I love you a lot, and for all the long talks we've had this past year. Tess, oh, thanks for being the sweet darling that you are and not needing a man to take care of you. Thanks, Elena, for still being my friend after not liking you at first. Thanks, Carly, for being so sweet and loving. I love you. Okay, Veritas. You are family to me. Each of you are so sweet and incredible. You have taught me to love with more of me than just words. Each of you have taught me a lesson, and if I were to go through each of them now, we would be here for the next 2 or 3 years. I love working through all of our dances with sore muscles and tired brains. I'm going to miss the deathly workouts Dee puts us through and the long rehearsals. Thank you. Dee, thank you so much for all your love. Okay, calm down. Whew. Ha. Thank you for teaching me that God is big enough to handle swearing. I love you for all your wisdom and honesty and for pushing me every day. Okay. Krista, ooh. Okay. Krista, oh, you are so sweet and so kind. You model kindness and love every day. Thank you for showing that love doesn't have to be through words. Okay, moving on. Family. Okay. Dad, thank you for being my hero and always being selfless. I remember you always going into the snow to go get the car when us girls didn't want to go out into the storm. You always eat the mounds of food that we didn't like or feel like eating. And thank you for always thinking of yourself second. When I was younger, I was sure my husband was going to be nothing like you, but now I am sure he will be everything like you. He will love God the way you do. He will love me the way you love Mom. He will take care of my kids the way you take care of me. He will listen to me and lead by example and with quiet leadership. Oh. Mom, you have instilled in me so much wisdom. I have so much wisdom because I have you. You are a mighty foe to go head to head with when we are disagreeing. But with those disagreements, you have refined my wisdom. There's a metaphor. A tree planted on a bank with no wind does not grow deep roots. Mom, you are my wind. You have given me deep roots. You pushed me towards knowledge and prepared me for challenges in the real world. Not only do you challenge me to love, but you love me too. Oh, Rachel. This is the one that's gonna kill me. Okay. Ha. Ha. You have been a joy to live with. I love you so much. I will never forget our fights when I was sure that we were going to trade you for a puppy. When we ganged up on the common enemy, Mom, because she wouldn't take us to 7-Eleven the way Dad would, or when we would make boxes or airplanes out of boxes to fly to Mom because she took a business trip to Arizona for 3 months. You have been the most amazing little sister that I could have ever asked for. You taught me to share my toys, and I still remember the first time I ever held you. I'm sorry for the times that I could not protect you, or even times I hurt you. I love you so much, and I hope that in the future we can still be as close or even closer. That's it.
We have time for some questions or any words of encouragement for Hannah.
I've used this whole tissue box.
Most embarrassing high school moment.
Oh, there's no doubt. There was a time, freshman year, still scars me. Okay. I was Palms, right? Homecoming night. That's amazing. That's amazing.
All over again.
Freshman year, Palms. We were on the field, and I was JV, and we were dancing with the varsity girls, and I was so worried for like really fast part, and I nailed it on the field. I was like, yeah, and then this one really slow part, I kick up into the air, and I remember and staring up at the sky, just being and landing on my back, and just laying there. It was solid like 3 seconds. Just 3 seconds doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot. I was just laying there on the field, being like, what is happening? So I stand up and I finish it, and I like walk off, and I like don't know what's happening. It was freezing cold. They didn't have like track pants or anything, so we were just freezing cold. My butt was sore. Yeah, it was in front of everybody. This is probably why I'm not on Palms. Yeah. Homecoming. Yeah.
Okay, so what's your favorite memory?
Favorite memory. I don't know. I think it has to be like this year, sometime this year. Like, I know, but like, probably like sometime in India. Because like, India is just a memory in itself. And then there's just like so much there. You can't just like, yeah. I don't know. That's fun.
Why neuro science?
I used to get really bad headaches, and I still do if I don't take medication. It was kind of a choice. Well, neuroscience for now, and then if I make it into med school, which I hope I do, I'm hoping to do general surgery because that's a need everywhere, and people just, and I think people just don't understand that your brain has to be taken care of in a certain way, and yeah, no deep philosophical reason, just a reason, I guess. D.
What did you know about yourself before India? And what do you now know about yourself after?
That's a tough one. That is a tough one. I think I knew before that I knew before that I liked people, but I didn't really understand. I didn't understand how to connect with people. But going to India and literally like walking into somebody's house and being like, oh, I'm in your house now. What's up? Like that like really teaches you how to like actually connect with people, if that makes sense. Like I knew that I liked talking to people. I just didn't know how to talk to people. Does that make sense? I just like, yeah. Now I just talk. Happens. It's fine. It's fine.
Awesome. Thank you, Hannah.
Yeah.
We are going to get up and pray over you, and then we'll be done.
Yeah.